Hello, YouTubers! Welcome to iScoot Connecticut. Today is going to be a lot of fun, especially for one special child. Today I'm going to unbox and assemble the Jetson JLR light-up kids bike. I have the bike in matte blue. It has LED strips along the side of the bike, which make it very special. Okay, as with any large item delivered mail order, please inspect and photograph the shipping container just in case what's inside is damaged. Ours actually looks in pretty good shape. Just a warning, the bottom of the box has these large staples. They will scratch your floors or snag your carpeting. If you bring the box inside, just be careful. Let's rip into it. It turns out the box is glued very well. Some people cut the boxes open, but I would avoid doing that. In case you have to return it, you'll have the intact box. Some of these kids' boxes even have a retail display box inside, and some don't. Ours doesn't, but it's really not a big deal one way or the other. We are taking a peek inside the box. Everything looks okay, but we won't know until we pull everything out. I would like to see a little extra foam or cardboard to cushion the contents, but that's not a showstopper. I mainly work with adult bikes, which are a lot heavier and need a little better protection. Now comes the fun part. We have the bike out of the box, and we get to cut the zip ties and rip off all the packing material. I'm using a box cutter and a set of diagonal cutters. You should use whatever you're comfortable with. But be careful at this point. I've seen experienced bike builders cut a cable instead of a zip tie or run a sharp blade across the new paint. You really don't want to do that with a brand new bike, especially for a kid who's probably waiting anxiously to ride it. We are getting our first peek at the LED strips, 2 strips on each side of the bike. Here is a closer look at some of the loose components: pedals, tools, instruction guide, seat post, and saddle. I wanted to show everyone the instruction guide that Jetson supplies. You probably cannot read it from the video, but please note the detail and the photographs that go along in each step. This is probably one of the better assembly and instruction guides that I've seen among bicycles. Putting the front wheel and tire on is simple. This particular tire is directional, but I don't think it makes any difference on a kid's bike. Also, with supply chain issues, I've seen identical bikes come with different brands of tires, but you should get the correct color match tire. That's the whole point of this bike, isn't it? I removed the nuts and hook washers, remove the axle spacer. You can throw that spacer away. It's only there for shipping. Mount the wheel and secure it back with the hook washers and nut. Personally, I'd like to have seen an acorn nut here to cover up the end of the bolt. I might upgrade the bike later with an acorn nut. I could see a child or kid scratching themselves or tearing their pants on the end of the bolt. The handlebars use a compression style fitting. Loosen the cap bolt, slide the bars in, make sure they are straight. Tighten the cap bolt. You'll need to adjust the height of the bars to fit your child or as your child grows, so don't go too crazy with torque on this particular bolt. Pedals, pedals, pedals. If you're not familiar with bicycle pedals, they are specific to each side. This is the right side, and it has standard threads. You can put a little lubricant on the threads, but do not put Loctite on the threads. In fact, I don't think anything on this particular bike requires Loctite. Be careful threading them in. You don't want to cross thread them, and give them a good tug. You'll want these tight. Left side pedals are reverse threaded, turned counterclockwise to tighten them. If you end up stripping these threads, you're probably going to have to take it to a bike shop and have them put a whole new crank set on it. So just take your time and be careful. We are almost done, I promise. The seat post drops right in and tightens with a quick release. I like to tighten it just enough so that the seat will not rotate. Inflate both tires to 43 psi. The bike uses 3 AA batteries that go inside the frame. It's a little hard to explain how to take the batteries in and out. I'll let you refer to the owner's manual, and once you have the bike, it's not that hard to figure out. Hooray, we did it! The Jetson JLR light-up kids bike is assembled. I wish I had a bike this cool when I was a kid. Maybe I can get the LED strips for my bike. Double check that everything is tight before you let your kid ride it. Although I have a line of people waiting off camera to ride it around the house. You will want to adjust the brakes. The instructions are in the manual. Thank you for watching. If you like bikes and scooters, please hit like and subscribe.